Sounds good. See
Okay.
you, Bailey.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. The rest of you cannot leave. You've got to stay here. This is an important call. This is a lead measure. Coaching is a lead measure. Training is a lead measure. It has to be part of your daily schedule as a realtor, right? Am I wrong on that? Correct me if I'm wrong. If some of you thinks this is not a lead measure, just tell me. I'm all for it. I'll trust you, right? I trust you. Hey, I want to talk about listings today. I want to talk about how to nail down that listing before you even show up to the appointment. I'll give you a few pointers. I'll even give you some. I'll give you some actual, what do they call it? Templates. I'll give you some templates to do this. It's a great thing. If you guys don't do it, if you do it, it's great. Just make sure you look at it often and modify it. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but I'll go over that here in a second. We'll talk about what you can do to kind of really nail down some of these listings and separate you. Let me zoom in my thing a little bit. Separate you from everyone else. What can you do to separate you from what everyone else is doing? What can you do to make you look so good before you even step in the door where other people are not doing it? How about ideas? I mean, is that a way to kind of intro into this conversation to say, what are you guys doing to separate yourself before you ever even walk in the dang door to get that listing? What are you doing?
Man, Sean, this is like the best ever. I don't ever hop on your coaching calls, but this day, for whatever
Nice.
reason, it's like flowing right now. Like this is perfect.
Wow.
This is exactly what I need. It's so weird.
So good. Man,
So
David,
good.
I appreciate you. By the way, David is sitting in Florida, right?
Miami.
Miami, Florida. So if you
Yes,
think this
y'all.
call is just for Idaho and California guys, it's not. We got David coming from Florida, and I didn't even ask him to be here. He's just legit. Way to
Dude.
go, David.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Well, again, thanks for like having this particular topic up. It's really funny. I
Totally.
got a call this morning from a frustrated, it was a Zillow call. It was a frustrated seller. She's been on the market
Yeah.
255 days, and it's a Redfin
Mm.
listing. So,
Mm.
and I've already booked the appointment. I'm going to be there. It expires, her contract expires the 30th, so I said I'd be there the 1st. So next week from Thursday.
Nice.
Um,
Nice.
but selling myself, I have designations from NAR. I have the PSA and I have the SRS, the pricing strategy advisor
Good.
and seller representation specialist. I wooed her with that, and just being, on top of the neighborhood, knowing exactly what's going on. I'm going to drive over there later today, at least the neighborhood, to see if there's something going on physically within the area.
Yeah.
So when I approach her at the meeting next Thursday, we can really talk about strategy and getting her sold, because she was pretty upset.
Yeah.
So I guess being a market expert
Yeah.
and like knowing where you're going before you go, so
Mhm.
that you can speak to that level of expertise and reassure your client.
To bank off of what David's saying, so we all go to right away, like, what can I do to market? How can I market this listing better than everyone else? How can I do the not the norm? Well, why go there? Look what David's saying. He's saying he's showing how he's the expert, and his expertise sold the seller. The expertise. So David's talking about. So David, tell me about how hard it was to get some of these segregation, or what are they called? Not segregations. For what are they
Designation
called?
designations.
Designations.
Oh, they're
Designations,
not.
which are
They're
just simple trainings, and then they make you, I am a certified blank blank blank, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's not too difficult. I know that during I don't know if it's available anymore, but I kind of drank the Kool-Aid last year when we were doing that whole NAR restructure with the whole way commissions discussed. They NAR put out a free ABR, accredited buyer representation specialist designation out there for you to take at your whim, and I did. And then there were these other designations. I thought, well, you know what? I have nothing to lose. And it was just like literally a day, maybe 2 days, of just being in front of your computer, listening to the information they provided. And at the end of it, there really isn't any kind of a test. It's just be present and be active within the presentation, and you get your designation. And there's some great information inside of them too. I can't push them hard enough. Like there's
So
some
good.
really good stuff in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just becoming having these designations, you can put them on there. It's like the doctor, you know,
Yeah.
DO or MD or PhD and, you know, stuff like that. As a realtor, we're business professionals selling that you are that business professional they're looking for. We're not saying step into a listing appointment and start saying how good you are. No, but just say, well, that's interesting that you're running into those issues. Just so you know, I do have several different certifications I've gone through. I am a certified buyer specialist, so I know what it takes to be able to get the right buyers in there and what their needs are. I've gone through these certifications. I'm also certified as a listing specialist through NAR, National Association of Realtors. I can send you some of those accreditations. That's that initial phone call. That's not when you're sitting in front of them. You sell yourself first. You go through what we call the listing checklist with them online. And we went over this on Monday. For those of you that were here on Monday, we talked about the different things you need to do to prepare and qualify a seller. And I gave you guys a form. For those of you that didn't get that, I did email it out to all of Legacy. I told you guys in Idaho, I don't have, or other states like you and over in Florida, David, I don't have access to just simply click a button and send it like it can in California because I'm the broker owner of that one. I don't have the whole roster to send it out. So if you guys want copies of this stuff, all I ask you to do is email me and I'll reply back really quick with copies of it. So I've got scripts and then I've got what's called the listing checklist, which is the initial listing. And it actually goes through a checklist. And I actually sit in front of a seller and I ask all these questions, but some of them need to be done over the phone just to get that appointment set. And not much though. We don't want to get too deep into it. You know, so but that's the time when you sell yourself, sell your accreditation, sell your professionalism, sell who you are and what segregates you and your expertise. People want to hire a professional. So I have a client in California that reached out and said, "Hey Sean, who do you know in California that's going to be a bulldog, that's going to be a hard worker, it's going to be not lazy. I don't want any lazy agents. I don't want any inexperienced agents." Who does? But some sellers don't realize that. But most sellers do realize they want that expert in the business. So that phone call is a great place to kind of sell it a little bit, your expertise, your knowledge. And then when you're in front of them, you can bring stuff like market stats, different things like that that show that you know the market. We're not even talking about marketing yet. We're just talking about why we are the expert, know the market. We have all these different things from ICC, Eisenhower Coaching that Brian has created that they're constantly updated. To those of you that have access to the ICC platform, you know, jump in there. They're all updated in there. We have Q3, I think, is out. Q4 is out. I think Q1 is out now from 2025 that have all the updated as of Q1. We're barely in Q2 right now of 2025, so those won't be out yet, but Q1 is all out. Those are how you show them what the market's doing and how you know the market and your expertise. So if you don't have access to that, send me an email. I'll send you the link to get your access. Everyone on here should have access with that because you guys all coach with ICC and you have access to it. So that's good stuff. Let's see, what else? What other things? What other ideas? Great, thanks, David. Great stuff. What other ideas that you have that segregate you on that initial phone call that you do different to get that listing appointment set? What are you doing? He's doing anything. I love it. That just means I can coach for days on this stuff. It's so good. I got such good stuff. All right. I'm gonna show. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, it's building that initial rapport, kind of, getting some dialogue going back and forth, not even necessarily about real estate at first, and just, hey, I'm glad to meet you, tell you a little bit about me, that kind of thing, and I'm happy to be here
Yeah,
first and foremost. Just a kind of icebreaker stuff.
totally. That is good. Really good stuff. Just to kind of get that conversation going, get to where you guys know each other and you become friends. Business of relationships, right? I
Yeah,
had
and I'm kind of reading body language and seeing how receptive they are, or if you can tell if they've got a pain point somewhere, you can just read it in them. I don't know if that's
yeah,
from past life training, but it's always helped serve me pretty well. And I
very good.
adjust based on what their body's telling me as well, just not the conversation.
Yeah. I had a seller tell me this week that they'll never use an agent that they know as a friend again, just because it's too hard for them, and they just feel like if they have to go another direction, they lose the relationship, and that should never happen. We got to keep it between the lines. This is a relationship-based business first and foremost. We've got to create those relationships. If we can't help them this time, we still want them to refer us next time. But if we burn the bridge, they won't. They won't return for even if we didn't finish the job. In my situation, I didn't finish the job. We had it priced over $1 million for 3 months. We were knowing that there's a chance it's going to sell lower 900s, but we started high because there were some comps. But with an understanding, we're going to have to get the price down. Well, winter came, December came. We decided to take it off the market, put it back on the market in the spring, at, possibly as a better price, but at least start to get it down to where we know we're going to sell it. That was their choice. I suggested this is what we do, gave them a suggestion, gave them my professional opinion, and then we just went from there. So it was good stuff. But then when it came down to it in the end, what happened? Another agent snuck in and started talking to them. And then what happened to me? I got kicked to the curb. So there's got to be some sort of understanding that, and maybe I should have had the conversation with them. So just learn from my mistakes, that maybe I should have said, hey, understand other people are going to reach out. All I ask you to do is just tell them right off the bat, don't hear them out. Be committed to me and I'll be committed to you. So tell them I'm working with Sean. That's where I'm at. I'm not veering away from that. If you take the chance to just hear someone out, you now let someone in the door, and that's when our relationships start to get damaged. But I refuse to let my relationship be damaged with them. Good friend of mine. I'm not going to lose that relationship. But I'm told them I'm still here. You need any advice along the way? I'm still here. We got to keep it between the lines. We cannot get outside of that and let our emotions go crazy when it comes to dealing with these sellers. We can't do that. We got to stay firm, stay strong, stay loving, giving, and go in there with a great head on our shoulders. I'm going to talk about pre-listing packets. If you don't have one, I'm going to show you the easy way to make one. I'm going to talk about how you get that professionalism we're talking about done before you ever even show up. Even if someone tells you that, hey, I'm going to go with this other agent, I've still said, understandable, you've chosen to do that. I ask for one last ditch effort. I'm going to swing by this afternoon at 5 o'clock. I'll be by your house. If you're not there, no problem. I'll leave it on the porch. I'm going to send you one of my pre-listing packets. Just want to make sure you see my professionalism and who I am. This works. Okay, it works. And then as the other person show up that they chose to do, did they ever give anything like that? If they haven't signed anything yet, bam, they're going to be like, well, shoot, the other agent didn't do this. Yeah, this is legit. This shows professionalism. This shows who you are. So I just simply Google search real estate pre-listing packet samples or pre-listing guide. I can do that as well. Pre-listing guide, excuse me, samples. So there's all these pre-listing guides you can buy. I'll be honest. So this one right here is mine. I bought this one years ago. I could tell because I'm looking at it and it looks very familiar. And I bought that years ago. And so here it is right here. That's not it. It is right here in my inbox right here. So this is my pre-listing guide that I've used forever. I have a couple different intros here. And by the way, if you don't know Canva, I know a lot of the different brokerages have been teaching on Canva lately. It's a great tool. It's easy to use. It's drag and drop. Literally, I can go in here and grab a, actually, I need to get back to that. I can go in here and just start working on this one right away. I can just drag and drop stuff right in here. I don't have to worry about different things. I don't have to worry about like, how do I format this? Nope, I can just drag and drop stuff right in there. This one was a great one. So if you just go in here and you get into Canva and you just search on the template, pre-listing guide or pre-listing booklet. I tried them all this morning just to show you all these different types of pre-listing booklets there are. Here's some uploaded stuff. So if I wanted to go in here and shoot, I want to put, look at all these funny things. I've used it for so many years. So, hey, I'm going to throw this cool looking guy in here. Just going to drag and drop it and it pops right in. Didn't format quite right. So let's try a different one. Bam, pops right in. I don't like that one either. How about that one? Ooh, that one looks better. Look how easy it works. It just slaps it right in there. I like this one a lot. So this one's more of a very easy little 2-page one. Here's another one here. This one was a web, but you can modify that to make it work for a pre-listing guide. But better yet, why don't you use this one? Look at this one's got really cool looking things here. So I can go in here and grab this and grab something cool that maybe I've done over the years. You can see I've used it a lot for a lot of my trainings and different things like that. I got so many pictures in here. Let's just throw. Let's throw cool Leo in there. Bam. You know, you can do whatever you want. There's all kinds of cool things. Look at, here's me speaking at an event. Did that work? No, that didn't. Oh, it did work. There it goes. There we go. Look at, there's a computer there, so I can say, hey, hire me. That didn't look too good. It's going to change. Nope, didn't change. There you go. That one looks better. Real cop. I mean, this is a great one. I really like this packet. It's very good. If you go back to the top, it talks about our company a little bit. Why choose us? Our goals for them as homeowners or as people selling the house, budget. So here's some budget on some different things they can do. I love that. Here's another one. Very easy to do, very easy to drop things in there. And by the way, these are just templates that any one of you can use. I highly suggest paying for Canva because you don't have to worry about some of these. I can't use them because it's only for the pro version. It's not that expensive to use Canva. I think it's $150 a year. So pay one fee and never pay for it anymore throughout the year. It's done. Just pay it up front. All kinds of different things in here, some thumbnails, some different homes that are currently on the market and different stuff like that. Here's another one. This one's kind of retro. I like this one because it's retro. I like retro. It's cool. But I like how this one has some stats. So you can plug in some of those ICC stats right into here and just talk about it. There's all kinds of different things you can do. Just put a little verbiage in there, change up the verbiage, make it your own. And then there's another one. This one was very professional looking too. All these were just templates by me just typing in pre-listing guide or pre-listing booklet. This one's another one. That was a good one. Very easy to do things. Drag and drop. There you go. That didn't work good. You know what I mean, though. Let's throw Colby in there. Let me Colby look in there. I could throw my condo in there. Look at, there's some pictures. Throw Colby in there. Look at that dude. Anyway, it's so easy to do and play around with Canva. What do I do with this? So now that I've got a really nice drawn up one that's all about me, well, I did a great job. I did what David said. I sold them on me. I have a listing appointment this week. Okay. What am I going to do between now and then? Two things. One, you email this to them ahead of time. Email them their packet ahead of time so they can start looking at it because they're going to potentially, especially on Zillow, it could have been sold to other people. I don't trust Zillow as far as I can throw them. Great lead source, yes, but what if it got sold to someone else? What if someone else calls them? All right, now I'm screwed. I lost them. All right, so I can send that out ahead of time. Secondly, either mail it or physically drop it off, an actual legit copy, and leave it on their doorstep or knock on the door, say, hey, I know we have an appointment this week. I do have another appointment to run to, but I happen to be in the area. I just wanted to give you one of my pre-listing packets so you could start getting prepared for our meeting. And great to meet you face to face too. I'll see you on Sunday at 5 o'clock, whatever. Here's a pre-listing packet, looking at it. Nothing sells you better, especially if they're going to be interviewing multiple agents. Nothing sells you better than to sell this ahead of time. Drop it off ahead of time, leave it in their hands. Email it to them as well. That way they have two forms of copies, a digital copy and this one. Let's go back over here. I'll show you mine that I use. I really do take pride in ours. It's been a great one. Loved it for a long time. I actually will go in here and modify it for some of my agents so that they can actually use it for whatever they want to use it for. Here's Tammy Henderson's. When I scroll down, it's got Tammy's picture in there. And same thing, slide anyone in there. It's the same verbiage. It's my verbiage. It's what I chose in there about our team and the process and stuff like that. But I threw my team member in there. I threw Tammy's face and got her name in there. And then there's another one I have has all my team members on there.
Hey, Sean, we can't see your screen.
Oh, no. Oh, you can't? That I stopped sharing? I'm an
Yeah,
idiot.
we don't see it anymore.
Just forgive me now up front. Because yeah, I make mistakes, right? Come on now. Hey, thank you for the heads up. Right here. See, it's got Tammy's picture, but that's all my information. I just slid it in there for her and threw hers in there. Same packet though. And there's 3 different options here. Depends on whichever one you want to use. You want to change it up, you can. That's how that works. But I do have one that's got my whole team in there. There's one I made for Sanisha Clark when she was on our team. Here's one listing guide. And when I scroll down here, you see it's got a section. Wrong one. That's the one I actually created. It's got my face in there. Same information, just my face in there. I'm gonna get down here. It's down here on the bottom. When you start using Canva and you start getting good at it, look at all the different things I use it for. These are all thumbnails from my YouTube channel. You'll see those change from time to time. This is a thumbnail I made for my coaching platform. I made my open house signs in here. Canva does it all, guys. It's great. I made a team growth structure chart for our team to show how our team grows, who's in charge, who's next, who's the direct managers, buyers agents, seller specialists, you know, you name it. This was a listing I had. You know this guy, Wes. This is that was what's his name that moved to Oregon?
Fertile.
Fertile. That's Fertile's old house. Doesn't it look familiar? Fertile's
Yeah.
house. Well, I mean, that was years ago too. Holy mackerel, years ago. It is right, this one right here, I believe. And I actually, nope, that's not it. That's that same one. I was trying to find the one that has all of our team members in there. I created a really nice one that had all our team members in there. And you can use it for so many different things. But the goal is that I want to make a really nice one that I pass out ahead of time and get it in their hands. David, I wanted to talk about yours real quick because it reminded me of something. So NAR rules, ethics, the ethical, we all have to go through a code of ethics every couple years. I actually took all the code of ethics classes this year, like an idiot. I didn't know that I only had to take a couple, and I took them all. And I was on New Year's Day and I didn't have anything else to do. And I'm sitting there going through them and I'm like, shoot, I got to go through all these? Dang it. I don't remember going through it. Well, I learned a lot. So I learned that if you have a seller that calls you and is listed with somebody else and say their listing expires on March 1st, you can actually write a contract now dated for March 1st. They can even sign it. They don't have to, you don't have to wait until March 1st to write the contract. If they've chose to go with you and they called you and they're talking to you and they want to choose to list with you, they don't want to list with the other person, you just can't write it ahead of time. If you write it ahead of time, now their contract shows that they have to, you have to pay them, right? They have to get paid, not you, but the seller has to pay them. But if you write your contract for the date theirs is expired, you could do that. I would suggest doing it because you don't want to get someone else in there to wipe that out from under you. So it doesn't hurt to meet with them ahead of time, go over everything, and then set your listing to go active when that one expires. There's some other rules to it that if you have a listing that you're curious, I saw this was one of the ethics rules too, and you call the listing agent and say, hey, when does your listing expire? If they refuse to answer your question when the listing expires, if they refuse to tell you, you can legally call the seller and say, hey, I think your listing is getting ready to expire. Just curious when it expires. I would love to help you with the deal after yours expires. You can legally do that. I actually saved it and took screenshots of it because I didn't think it was real. And it has NAR's logo right there at the top. So you gotta, you want to be careful. You don't want to step on toes. You don't want to do things, but there are some rules there that protect you that you can actually sign a contract with them post dated to the date after their contract expires. You could do that. So, and if you want those copies, I have them saved. That way you can see that was in the Code of Ethics 2025, January 1st.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would that vary based on local MLS boards?
You could check on that. You can ask them and you can show them. I'll give it to you. You can call them and show them and say, hey, I went through my NAR ethics course because locals making you do those courses. So they're telling you, you have to do these courses. They're the ones telling you to go through them. And if the courses are telling you that that's what it is and that's the rule, then I'd go back and say, hey, you made me do this ethics course and it says I can legally do this. So I had a situation with a broker in Central California with one of our agents with our brokerage, and I called the listing agent and said, when does yours expire? And it took him 24 hours, but I was just going to go direct to the seller if he didn't, because that's what I learned this year, that you can do that. They have to tell you when their contract expires. They have to. So But if you want to call your local MLS and talk to him about that, you certainly can, just to protect yourself if you want to. It's up to you. But I can share those with you if you guys want them. Just email me and I'll email you that back. So David, it's up to you. But I would get that thing locked in for my new contract for them ahead of time.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think I'll reach out to her after I get off the phone and just kind of talk with her about that.
She called you. I mean, you didn't
Yeah,
go
she
after
did.
her. That's where the ethics happens. You can't go procure someone else's client.
Right.
She called you and says she's not signing a new contract with them and I want to hire you. Okay, well, when does it expire? Okay, this. I want a copy of it. Send me a copy of it. Okay. And we can meet and sign a contract for the date that one expires. So,
I have a question about it too, if
That's
you don't
what
mind me asking. So
Yeah.
she's in the market for 266 days. And so I was going to suggest to her, because it's been that long anyway, to wait a month so we can have a fresh start on the MLS. Do you think, in your experience, do you think that's a wise recommendation? Or do you think that, keeping it stale, I mean, that's my thought, is just it's going to be stale. There'll be a price change and a brokerage change, new photos, but
I would call your MLS and talk to them about changing to a totally different agent. Because does that ticker have to wait a whole month if it's a totally different agent, totally different company?
I think so. I think so. I think it's
Still
similar to
does.
that in Idaho.
Yeah. If it does, then yeah, I would want to wait that month as well. I don't think it's going to hurt you this time of the year either. It's just going
No,
to get
it's
warmer
for
and
slow
warmer all the way
season.
through June.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's for slow season.
it's the time anyway. So
Mhm.
it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter market and physically hotter. But it's going to be hotter and hotter market the more we get to June. So it's not going to hurt you to wait 30 days. But I would still have this contract signed ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then I would choose whatever paperwork you have in Florida that says exclude from the MLS until this date. And then I would write up a new contract for the new date once a new date starts, just to have her
To
under
lock it in.
contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to lock it for that month while we're waiting. And then, you could say I can pre-market it. I can only market it to our own brokerage, let them know it's going to be coming soon and stuff like that. I can't market it publicly, no public remarks, all that stuff. You could tell them that so that they know that, okay, over this next 30 days, at least it's not sitting there. You're still pre-marketing it to your brokerage, letting them know it's coming soon. Abiding by the rules not to go public on that. So, but yeah, I like that. That's
Thanks for
good.
that, Sean.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Any other questions on pre-listing packets and on setting your listings up for success so that you have it up front, successful before you ever even hit your appointment? Any more questions on listings? Listings are huge. Listings bring more listings. Listings bring more buyers. All right, I'm going to be sending out to everybody. I'll send this out. It's going to be a pre-recorded. It's on our YouTube page. So if you guys want access to that, I'm going to put it in the chat right now. Let me stop sharing the screen so you actually can get the whole thing. This is a new one that I've been working on. We've got our whole podcast in there of all our pre-recordings from previous ones. If you want to go back through it and look at it, look at any ones we recently did. One of the ones that I'm going to be doing soon, that I'm going to be putting on there really soon, is going to be how to take a listing and get 70 plus people. I know Carol reached out to me this week about it. How to get 70 plus people into your database with just using an open house as the excuse. I did a whole training on it recently. Let me pull this up. And it would help. Yeah, it's weird. It's not letting me type into a new screen. There we go. I'm going to send you in the group chat right now our podcast so you can kind of watch that, catch up, but then watch for a new one that's going to be coming up here soon. And it's going to be on this whole, it's short. It's not crazy long. Don't worry. I'm not, going to freak you out by giving you a big long one. It's a short one. And it's going to be on how to structure and get that in there. It's really easy. Every day you got work to do. And this gives you work to do every day. Simple way to do it. Here you go. This is going into the group chat. Paste. There you go. So that's the whole podcast right there that you can go through. And then keep an eye out. Once you subscribe to it, it'll alert you when I put that new one in there because it'll be in there soon. And that's it. That's what I have for you guys today. Anything else you want to be coached on? Any content you need? Any cool scripts you need I can share with you? Now's your chance.
Sean, I could bug you for hours, dude. You just
Oh,
need to come to
man.
Miami and like hang out, and we'll have like Mai Tais and stuff on the beach. Like,
Talked about that.
yeah, we did.
About that
So
needing to happen. Totally. That would be great. If I can break away from a wife that does rodeos all summer long and a daughter that's doing rodeos now too, I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. We're never gonna get a break. Cowboy life. It's fun times. But yeah, I need a vacation is what I need, David. That'd be great.
gotcha.
Thank you
What
for
do you-
that, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you all. Thanks for jumping in today. Let me know if you need anything. You got my email address. I'll throw that in the chat before we get off. And feel free to email me any content you want, anything I can share with you, and I'll get it right back to you. Sean at CardozaREgroup.com is in the group chat. Have a great week, guys. Go get it. Don't hesitate. Have fun. This is a fun job. Don't forget, you got to have fun. It's worth it. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Sean.
Welcome. See ya.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome. Thank you.